Hi, my name is Dan Al-Balawi. I'm a professional makeup artist and hairstylist from Russia and also do a little bit of photography. In today's video we are going to speak about liner, about all the secrets in creating the perfect winged eyeliner. I will speak about how to make it symmetrical, how to correct if you have any mistakes when you are creating your wing or any of your eyeliner, how to work with more wrinkly eyelids that have texture. I will also have some bonuses for you with the aqua-liners, how to create your own custom liners, and I will also speak about liners for different eye shapes. I really hope that you will subscribe to this channel, leave me a comment. This will be absolutely amazing. Also, like thumbs up. This is also really good. I will really appreciate that. And I also really hope that this information will be extremely useful for you. Okay, let's start the video. And for this, I will have to bring you a little bit closer. When planning to do an eyeliner, the first thing we need to think about is how we are going to prepare our lids to the liner product. Because if we do it on bare lids, there is a higher chance that we won't get a long-lasting result. If you are in a hurry and there is absolutely no other option for you because you don't have any time, then at least powder your eyelids or apply a little bit of eyeshadow. It may be nude eyeshadow, anything. This will already help with the longevity of the eyeliner. But if you have time, I strongly recommend you doing an eyeshadow look first. So apply an eyeshadow primer or cream eyeshadow, then some powder eyeshadow on top, and this will create a very nice surface for your makeup look to last. Today I will use my favorite eyeshadow base by Natasha Denona, which is called Eyeshadow Base, in the shade 01 Light Beige. Now I will powder my lids with my face powder. This is Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in the shade 1 Fair. I apply the powder all over. We can already do our liner from here, but I want to shape my eye a little bit, so I will use my sculptor and I will apply it in the socket, a little bit in the outer area of my eye and on the lower lid as well. If you were looking for an extremely easy office-friendly makeup look, here you have it. It will take you 2 minutes, add lashes, that's it. You even don't need any eyeshadows. The next thing that you really should think about when you do your eyeliner is drawing the liner also in the in-between lash area. So it shouldn't be tight lining, because tight lining also means that you are doing it on the upper waterline. It should be exactly in between the lashes. You can either do that with a pencil or with a gel liner, because I think this is the easiest way. Some people manage to draw the in-between lash area with eyeshadows, but sometimes it doesn't stick. So today I will be doing it with my trusty gel liner. If we don't do the in-between lash area, if we don't cover it, we will have the appearance of a liner that is above the lashes. So there will be this empty space and it will be visible. If you are planning to do a half liner, then you will have to cover only a half of your lashes if you want to, but you can do the whole thing. I'm using my regular Maybelline gel eyeliner, the black one. And my favorite brush for tight lining the lash area, let's call it tight lining, but I don't mean applying the liner to the waterline, okay? For tight lining, I prefer to use either a very small angled brush, like the tiniest, or this triangular shaped brush, which is angled from both sides. Actually, this is my absolute favorite. You can also use this type of brushes. They will also work really well. We literally go in between the lashes, as you can see. I'm moving the lashes, I'm applying the liner directly into the roots of my lashes. And I'm really trying not to get on the waterline, because if I do, it may transfer to the lower waterline. And I don't want that effect for this makeup look. And with this zigzag motion, we try to get directly in between the lashes. If we're planning to create a classic wing, quite often it is quite hard to make it even. And there are several ways in which you can draw the eyeliner perfectly without any corrections needed. We need to sketch our future liner, so the angle of it. There are several ways to find this direction in which your liner will go, to find the angle. The first way is to sketch the wing with dark eyeshadow. Just like this, and then do the same for the other eye and make sure that they already look symmetrical. Instead of using powder eyeshadow, you may use something like MUA profiles, for example. The next way to help us draw the liner symmetrically is to use a lighter eyeshadow underneath the liner. Just like this. When we use powder or cream products to sketch our liner, we are helping us to correct the mistakes if we make them. Because rubbing off eyeshadow is much easier than rubbing off a gel eyeliner. The other method that can be used is, for example, when you have a very dramatic makeup look on your eyes and you first baked the shape of your blending. For example, like this, with some powder, and your eyeshadow is deeper so you see that more clearly, and you try to make the liner parallel to your blending. When we plan the shape of our future liner, we always need to look straight forward into the mirror. No doing this, no looking down, no lifting your brows, no helping you like that with your finger. Nothing of that, because you need to see how your makeup will look when you calmly look straight forward. Now I want to speak about the brushes for drawing the eyeliner. The most popular brush shape is an angled brush. I think it can be very comfortable to work with it because you press it like that and you immediately have the shape. But recently I found out that this is not the most comfortable shape. For me, I find other shapes a little bit easier to work with, but this is only my opinion. You need to find the brush that is the most comfortable for you. The next popular shape is this one. It is very nice for drawing the in-between lash area and to winning out the liner, but your liner will be softer with it. This is a brush shaped for classic liner. So if you press harder, it will give you a thicker line. If you press soft, it will give you a thinner line. It's really comfortable to work with it. I really love it. When you press it, you immediately get the shape which is thicker in the base and thinner closer to the end of the tail. So love this brush as well. And by the way, this brush is by a.voevodina number 317, and all the rest brushes I'm using and showing you today are the brushes by the brand a.voevodina. She has a really nice liner set. So angled brushes can be smaller and I find them to be easier to maneuver, and I also really like this exact brush to wing out the wing even more, like make it thinner. I already showed you this brush. This is number 128 by a.voevodina. So I also really like to draw the liner with this brush. It's very easy. It has a very nice thin tip. So love it. These are two variations for longer lines. So this one is a little bit thick and this one is a little bit thinner. It's very easy to drag the liner on your lid and wing it out with it. Very nice shape. You may find such brushes in a regular painter's store. Well, it is not rational to use this brush to draw the whole liner, but it's really good for drawing some like very small tiny details if you're extra with your liner. And you may also use as your fine small brushes the brushes for nail art. This shape is quite interesting. So it may give you very fine thin lines if you drag it like this, or it may also give you a thick line if you drag it like that. Some people find it very comfortable to work with it, but I don't feel that much of control with it, so sometimes I get a thicker line than I wish. So I use it for something else, for example for lip shaping or for covering some stuff When you want to draw a liner, you need your lining product to be a little bit more thin. If it is too thick and too dry, it will be much harder for you to draw your liner, and it will drag the eyelid as well, and you will get steps. The skin on our eyelids is very delicate, and that's why if your liner isn't like slippery, you will get a lot of unevenness. And the next thing is very important, especially if you take quite some time to draw your liner. Your brush should be on the cleaner side. It shouldn't be filled with the product, especially if this product is already dry. Because if your brush is filled with the eyelining product, you will be unable to draw a nice shape with a thin wing. If your liner is on a thicker side, you need to mix it with something to make it thinner. And for this purpose, you may use one of the two products, either a pure isododecane or something like Duraline. What's the difference between isododecane and Duraline? First of all, isododecane is the first ingredient in Duraline. Isododecane, in its pure form, does not affect the longevity of the product. It only makes it more liquidy, and then it evaporates and leaves nothing after it. Duraline makes the product more long-wearing. It changes the formula, and it leaves something that makes it more like concrete, more bulletproof. What it gives us, I'm not advising you to add pure isododecane into your dry liner, because isododecane will make it dry out even faster. But if you do so, you won't get a concrete mass that you will be unable to use after that. But if you add Duraline, it will turn your half dry liner into a brick that you will be unable to use after that, after it dries. And when I'm using an eyeliner, first of all, I always use gel liner. It is more comfortable for me. I love gel eyeliners. I always use something to dilute them, and I really prefer to use pure isododecane. I just love isododecane. But use either it or Duraline. What I like about using pure isododecane is that you can clean your brush with it, and it will be fresh, and it will be easier for you to draw the liner. Today we'll use a brush for classic winged eyeliner. I also like to drag it back to the eye. Talking about the shape, we have the highest point of our eye, which is above our iris. And we need to make all of it before the iris as thin as possible if we want to have a nice lifting effect. And then after the iris, we start to make it a little bit thicker. And this way we'll have a nice liner that will lift our eyes. Of course, there are so many different ways to shape your liner, and if I'm going to speak about every single one of them, it will take me one more video at least, maybe even more. I'm only trying to give you all the life hacks about how to make your liner absolutely perfect, and you need to apply them on the technique you will be using. For example, one more way how to draw your eyeliner is to first draw the direction of it, leaving some space from the outer edge of your eye, and then directly connect the edge to your liner. My eyes are actually quite asymmetric, so this eye is a little bit more downturned, whereas this eye is normal, and also this eye is a little bit smaller. Because of that, in order to correct this asymmetry, I make this liner a little bit thicker so that it corrects this downturnedness, and I also sometimes make the liner a little bit longer here, but I made it a little bit too long today, to be honest. I want to show you what can be used to clean your liner and to drag it out. First of all, it's pure isododecane. I absolutely love this product because not only does it clean everything off and makes it absolutely crisp and beautiful, but it also helps to drag the line out, and I will show it to you. Do you see how you can make the thinnest line with it? Now we'll use Duraline. In my case, it's the Bond by Manly Pro. It's a Russian alternative. As you can see, you can win the liner out, but it won't make it as sharp and clean down here if we are erasing quite a lot of product. The next thing that I recommend using for cleaning your liner if it went wrong is something that is silicone based, like silicone based primer. It may be a primer for your face or the primer for your eyes. For example, Hourglass Veil Primer has silicones in them, so we can use it. As you can see, you can totally use a silicone primer to drag the wing out and to clean everything that is not okay in your liner. You can also use an eyeshadow primer. They usually also have silicones. For example, this MAC Prep and Prime primer, which is 24-hour. It also has silicones and we can use it to clean our liner. As you can see, it is also a success. Now I will fix my left liner with my favorite method using the isododecaine. I know that it is not recommended to clean your liner on top, like not from the bottom but from the upper part, but if you have no other choice, you can totally do that with isododecaine or with silicone based primer. If you disturbed your eyeshadows, you will have to reapply the primer and then reapply the eyeshadows. This is the only way to fix it, but it will look decent, I promise you. Also, quite often, if you have a very crisp line on your eyelids, especially if you're a little bit older and if your eyelids are not extremely smooth, if you have this crisp edge of the liner, it will look unnatural and every little unevenness in your eyelids will be revealed. In order to make the liner appear more natural and more beautiful, you will have to blend the edge of your liner a little bit. For this purpose, I really like using this type of brushes and a little bit of isododecaine, or you can also use some of your primer and then add shadows on top of it. This brush has a tiny little bit of isododecaine on it, and now I will smooth the edges a little bit and blend them. When it is blended like that, it immediately looks softer and more natural. It doesn't look like it does not belong to your eyes. So before, after. I also like this trick when I'm drawing the liner with a pencil and I want to smooth it a little bit and make it more natural. Even a little bit of softness makes a huge difference. I also want to speak about some anatomy specifics. I already told you what to do if your eyes are a little bit different. I already spoke about how to apply the liner in terms of thickness on your eyes to make it natural and beautiful, so not too thick above the iris, not too thick in the inner corner. And now I want to speak about other aspects in the classic liners that may be interesting to you and may be useful to you. If you have close set eyes and you feel that you want to drag your eyes a little bit to the sides more, then you need to forget about the inner liner here because it will make your eyes even more close set. And also maybe ditch 1/3 of the liner in the inner corner, maybe even a half of liner in the inner corner, and do only the outer corner and do the lighter shade in the inner corner. This will help you to make your eyes appear to be more far set. If you have droopy eyes, you either make your liner thicker on the outer part of your eye so that we build it up to like a normal shaped hair. Or we could also not draw the outer area here, so we start the liner earlier than the eye ends. So for example, we bring the liner here and we don't draw it all the way down, we draw it till here and then we go up. This is also one of the ways to work with the droopy eyes. What if we have hooded eyes? First version of hooded eyes, when we don't have like hooded eyes, we have hooded lids. So we can see the mobile lid from one end to another end. In this situation, the maximum thickness of our liner in the outer part will be the thickness that we have here of the mobile lid. Don't make it too thick. Try to make it thinner to make your eyes appear to have like more of the mobile lid. This will be more beautiful. If you make your liner extremely thick here and there will be none of the mobile lid visibly left, then you will have only the hood and it won't be a very nice and pretty look. You can make it thicker, but look to the second variation of the hoodiness in your eyes and you will understand what to do. So the second variation of the hooded eyes is that you can see the inner part of your mobile lid, but the hood fully covers the outer part of your mobile lid and you don't see that. But the hood does not affect the outer area here and it allows you to wing out your liner and then the hood starts. In this scenario, your option is the bat wing. So what you do, you draw the line when you look absolutely straight forward, then you draw the wing also looking absolutely straight forward, and then you close your eyes and connect this liner to the tight lining thing here. And when you close your eyes, you will be having this like a bat shape of the wing. I hope you get me. When you will look straight forward, it will look like a nice wing, normal wing, nothing special about it. When you will look down, you will see this strange shape, but I promise it will look absolutely fine. Just draw the liner looking straight forward. If your eyelid is very hooded and it goes even a little bit down after the outer corner and you can't draw the line, like a nice line here, there are several options for you. The first option is to do a step. So you elongate your eye a little bit down, just a little bit, a couple millimeters, and then win it out. If your hoodiness goes just a little bit down, this is one of the ways you can do that. The other two options are the same that can be used with the Asian eyes. Usually when the hoodiness here is so strong, you have the full hood till your lashes here. And in this situation, when we have the like almost full hood or partially full hood here, we also may use techniques that are used for Asian eyes when they have like monolids. So if you have this full hood or Asian monolid eyes, you either ignore your anatomy and just draw a thin liner. It will be fine. Doesn't matter if it doesn't connect absolutely perfectly here, if it's like a little bit like not as straight and nice and everything. Just draw a nice line. You don't need to go very heavy. Or you draw an extremely thick liner that you can see it on your hood already, but when you will close your eyes, like half of your eye will be black. But on the open eye, you will have this very nice wing. This is also an option. If you want to draw your liner high, if you have hooded eyes, you look straight forward into the mirror, you draw the direction, then you close, like look down and connect it to your eye, and you will have this double bat wing, for example. But if you have hoodiness in your eyes, so if you have partially hooded eyes, if you have fully hooded eyes, if you have Asian monolid eyes, you have the opportunity to draw liner here. So you have all these variations of creative liners for you available. It will be much easier to draw them than for me because I have a lot of like anatomy going on here. You have flatter eyes, and this gives you opportunities to create very beautiful makeup looks. If you have deep set eyes, there are several options what may be happening here. So either your bone is very pronounced in the outer area, and if you draw the line, if you move your head like up, down, from side to side, the line will be looking curved because of your bone. you will have to blend it a little bit out to make it less visible that it's curvy when you turn like your head, because of you don't have a flat surface here. So you just blend it out a little bit, or you have a place a little bit with flat surface, so you draw the liner into that flat surface, but you have more of a stronger bone here. These are your options if you have deep set eyes. I also want to make some bonus points for you. So the first bonus is how to work with the aqua liners. So you need to add water here, and you need to mix it to the consistency of liquidy sour cream. This is a very distinct thing in Russian, just for you to know. Everyone in Russian understands you if you say liquidy sour cream. What do I mean by that? This is already a little bit hard. Maybe like ketchup consistency, Heinz ketchup consistency. Maybe a little bit more liquidy than Heinz ketchup consistency. It's hard for me. I measure it in sour cream. This is too liquidy. This is the consistency we want. These liners are not really extremely long wearing. So for example, if you apply this liner in the inner corner and you start crying, then it will go away. There is nothing you can do. But because they are diluted with water, if you have a mistake, you can clean it also with water, and you can also wing out your liner with water. And the other option, what to do with the mistake, is just take a spoolie and scrape it off. At least partially. You can also create your custom eyeliners mixing Duraline with a loose pigment or some eyeshadow that you scrape off of the pan. So today I will mix my MAC pigment, this is Old Gold, with some Duraline, and I will show you how it will look. You can also create your custom eyeliner mixing a pencil, gel pencil, with isododecaine. And the last trick in creating your personal line, if you don't have any eyeliner, you can take a brush, a little bit of water or setting spray, and decide which eyeshadow you would like to ruin, at least like partially, like a quarter of it, and dip there, and you will have a nice liner. As you can see, I ruined only like partially this eyeshadow, just a corner, the corner here, and you will be able to use the rest of the eyeshadow normally, and for example only this corner as an eyeliner. And this is our final result with the lashes, blush, highlighter, lips, everything. I really hope that you like how it turned out. So that was it for today. I really hope it was interesting and useful to you. Please subscribe, leave me comments. I need your comments. And thank you very much, and bye bye.